I welcomes you once again in this particular session. And so far, we were discussing the concept of like inheritance, right? We created a separate folder for inheritance, like, and we also understood what is method overriding, okay? And what is the new keyword, what is virtual keyword, and override keyword. So we created this car class, and basically this the car is implementing. So this is the sign of inheritance as well as implementation. So this car is like inheriting some properties of the vehicle class. Okay, so vehicle is the grandparent of the car. So yeah, as I told you that multi-level inheritance is possible in C sharp. Multiple is not possible. Multiple inheritance. You can just refer this example. So in case of multiple inheritance, like there would be multiple, I would say, parents for a single derived class. So that is not possible due to a diamond problem that we already have looked into it. Okay. So also like we created an Audi car and that is implementing the car. Yeah. Okay. So in this session, I would explain you one more concept. We have a car class, right? Car have its own start method, stop method, and refuel method. We have like define it virtual. Why? Because we are going to override it in the another class in which we will inherit the car. That's why we have put over it. So can I create static methods inside a class? Yes. At the time of static concept, we have understood this. In a class can contain both static as well as non-static methods. But how to call them would be different. If I need to call the non-static method, then I need to create the object of the class and I can call these by the object reference. But if I need to call the static methods, then I can directly call by using the class name. That is the only difference. Okay. So let's create one more method inside the car class. Car can have start, stop, refuel. Okay. Also remember, like car is the parent of BMW, Audi, and Honda, right? So let me create one more static method, public static. How to create static method? Just use the static keyword. Public static void. Let us say drive. Drive is one of my static method. Okay. So let's print it. Let us say car drive. Okay. Now my question is, can we override the static method? Just like I'm overriding stop over here. Similarly, I can override start, refuel inside the child class, maybe in Audi or BMW. So my question is that, can I override the drive method because it's static in nature? Let us see. So can I write it like public static virtual keyword over here? There is no SS suggestions. Okay. So that means, can I make it virtual? If I'll do it virtual, then there would be an error. Static member cannot mark as virtual. So the finding over here is that if we cannot mark static as virtual, that means we cannot override that particular thing. Means I will never be allowed to override the the point you need to uh, remember over here is that static methods cannot be overridden. Got it? This is the clear message. A static member cannot mark as virtual. So if we cannot mark as virtual, without virtual keyword, we cannot write the override keyword in the child class, right? So like this is not allowed. So for an example, if I need to call this static class, let us say where is our test class? Let me create the same class inside BMW as well. Okay, BMW is my child class. So I can like there is no SS warning. I can create same class over here. So this is saying intended drive use the new keyword. If I use the new keyword over here, so there is no as such error. But my question is that is this an overridden method? No, this is an individual method, right? Just like we are doing this overhiding. So that the parent method has been hidden, and this is then separate method for the BMW class. Okay, like this is not we can say we cannot say that this is an overridden key method. So which one is the overridden method? The stop is the overridden because we are using override keyword. I cannot use override keyword over here. Okay, if I use this, then there would be an error. A static member cannot be marked as override. Right? Got it? So let's take a point. It may be asked at the time of interview as well. And not override static methods in C sharp. Can we overload? Can we overload the static methods? Yes, I have given you many examples. Even the best example is of man method. Can a man method is can we overload the man method? Yes, we have seen many examples. So what is the nature of man method? It's an static public static void man. So man method is static itself, and we can overload. So yeah, we can overload the man method, but we cannot override. We cannot override the static methods, but we can overload the static method. Okay, so static method overloading is possible, not the overriding, right? So I cannot assign the override keyword, though I can use the new keyword. Okay, so this is like method. No, this is called method overhiding, not method overriding. Got it? Okay. So let us see if I need to call this. Where is your test car? Here is my test car.
Like
If I,
I think here BMW you have to make it BMW. Okay. Yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Now inside the test class, if I need to call this p dot, let us say what was our drive. If I need to call, so I cannot call it by the object reference. Why? Because that is static in nature. So how to call that? By using the class name, right? How to call the static method? Just directly use the class name BMW dot. As soon as you will write the drive method is over here, you can call this, right? So which drive method will get called? Which one? So the hidden one, the new that we have created, right? So similarly, I can call the drive method from car class also. For that, I need to take the reference of car class and drive. Okay, right? If I'll execute this, let me execute it. I hope the object reference is set for this only. So one should be like BMW drive and another should be car drive. So this is BMW drive and one is car drive. Okay. So we are getting later on we are getting some exception. So that's okay. Invalid cast exception. So let us see if I have removed this. I am not creating any drive, any overhidden method in the child class. So will it be there would be any error? No, there is no such error. Why? Now this is coming from the child. So we can inherit the static methods. What we are doing over here, we are inheriting this from parent, but we cannot overriding. You see the difference between inheritance and overriding. Inheritance means to derive the properties from the parent class, but overriding means to to like to uh, define the same kind of methods inside the derive class as well and use them, right? So we cannot override the static method, but yeah, we can inherit. Like there in the BMW class, there is no as such try method mentioned now. We already have removed that, but still there is no as such error. Why? Because this is coming from the parent class and this is inherited, right? But not overridden. This is inherited method. Okay, and this is like coming from the car itself. Now the output would be car drive, and here also the car drive. Let's execute it and see the output. So both like the car drive in case of BMW also, because we are now inheriting from the parent. In the child, we don't have any overhidden method. Okay, now we are inheriting. Okay, so the car drive. Got it? Any confusion in this? The CS Mini. Are you good?
I'm confused.
Okay, thank you. So, okay, I hope you got this. Now, let me tell you one more concept. I have car class. So, car class may be inheriting something from the vehicle or may not be. If I mention it, there is a keyword called sealed, SEALED. There is a concept called sealed. Okay. So sealed, as soon as I'll write the sealed, that means the class can never be a parent. Means the methods inside this class cannot be inherited by some other classes. Means this class will not have any child now. Got it? Now, if I make it sealed and navigate to the BMW, okay. So there is an error. You see, BMW cannot drive from sealed type car. Sealed means we are restricting that class that hey, no one can inherit this class now. So always remember there is a sealed keyword cannot be a parent if we are using the sealed keyword. And also you can see there is an error with the virtual method. Virtual, why or the error is only with virtual? So we can override only the virtual methods, right? If the method is not virtual, then like there is not overriding concept mentioned over here, over there. So the virtual is an error, and this see card or stop is a new virtual member in seal type. So in seal type, we cannot have virtual methods, right? Got it? So let me write it over here. I would say seal class means cannot be a parent. Okay, where are we writing this? Let's see. Okay, so we have used the this keyword like called. Okay, so I need to write it over here. Class means cannot be a parent. Okay, will you remember this? Yeah, it may be asked. Okay, at the time of interview. Okay, so use sealed keyword if you want to stop further overriding of a method. Okay, so just like we mark this class as an sealed, so similarly sealed, I would say method also can be used as sealed. Now you cannot inherit the entire class methods, right? And you can also mark in single like method and sealed. Let me tell you the example. So this is now the normal class and there is no such error. So in the vehicle class, let us say we have an engine, right? So let's make it virtual. Virtual means in the child class, we can override this. Okay. So what is the child of vehicle? Car is the child. Let us say we have one more method called engine, and this is overridden, override keyword, right? If this is virtual in the parent, then there would be override keyword would be used over here, and this is car engine, right? So this is my overridden method. If I'll use sealed over here, if I use sealed over here, then after this I cannot, like I would say, I cannot override this in any other class, the engine method. So the sealed keyword can be used along with the method also. Let me navigate to that. Where is my BMW class? So if I'm going to override this inside the BMW, let us say remove this. If I'm going to override this, then there is an error. It's saying BMW cannot override inherited because it's sealed, right? Got it? So this cannot be override. This is specifically for the method and with the class. Okay. So the point over here is that sealed class cannot be a parent and sealed method cannot be override further, cannot be override further, right? Okay. So right, the sealed keyword can be used with that overridden method only. Okay. If you'll write sealed over here, public sealed void. Okay. So you cannot do that. Can be sealed because it's not override. So always remember sealed keyword will be used only with that overridden method. If there is an override keyword, then only you can use the sealed keyword in case of method. But in case of class, you can directly mention the sealed keyword over here. Right? Okay. Now you understood the concept of sealed class and sealed method, right? Why we use this? Just to just to stop the over redundancy, or I would say in case of class, if the class is, I would say, the sealed, then we cannot inherit that, and if the method is sealed, then we cannot override that. Okay, what is the practical example of sealed method? So in practical we can see if there is a logo. So logo, I would say the logo would be same, just like we have in the BMW, or we can say there is a class called Honda. We have Honda. So this Honda may have further child classes as well. Okay, just like we have Honda. So Honda may have we like Honda Amaze, or we can say uh, there might be like just a second. Let me arrange it. Okay, so let me. Where is the draw? Yeah, let's draw it. So we have like Honda Amaze, we may have like Honda City, okay, and some other Honda classes as well. We may have other child classes of this parent. So for an example, Honda company have a particular logo like this. Okay, maybe anything. So will it be same for all the child? For the Honda City, the Honda logo would be same. For all the Honda cars, the logo would be same. Other features might be different, just like engine capacity might be different, interior space might be different. The type, some might be hatchback cars, some might be like SUV cars, okay, and some might be sedan cars. That depends upon the car type. But like the logo for every car would be same. So we will make the logo as sealed, right? We will make this as sealed. Why? So that no one can override this and change the logo according to their convenience. Right? This is not allowed because for the entire company, logo would be same. So in these kind of scenarios, we have to use the sealed keyword for methods. Right? So I hope you have bought this. Okay. Let me know if you have any question. Otherwise, we'll move to our next topic. Okay. no input, that means no question. It's fine. So now we are starting a very interesting topic, and for sure, I have took like more than 100 interviews so far, and in every interview I have asked the question related to the topic that I'm going to start, and that is very relevant to the interface. Sorry, the inheritance that we have understood so far and override concept. Okay, so now I would like to discuss the concept of, I would say, that interface. What is interface and why to use interface? What is the purpose of interface? So let me create. Before that, let me explain you that. For an example, we have some rules for that medical line. Okay, let's take that example. Let us say I have some US medical association, right? There is a medical association, maybe US medical association or anything. This is just an example. So US medical association have some rules like, hey, if any hospital want to be the part of US medical association, then they have to fill these norms. We have some like norms. Similarly, there might be the medical association of some other countries as well, just like UK medical association. They have their own rules, right? They may have their own rules. Hey, I have these like norms. Okay, and similarly, like we may have some other country as well. Just like let us say we have Indian Medical Association ID, Indian Medical Association. So Indian Medical Association will have their own rules, right? Might be many like this. So all these are defined as an interfaces. For the interface, I'll use the keyword called I. I represents interface. This is also an interface. This is also an interface. Now let us say we have, we have two classes, okay, or we can say we have two hospitals. Let me change that. This is, let us say, some hospital. This is some another. Yeah, this is just an example. Let us say Fortis Hospital, and take some another example. Let us say Apollo Hospital. I don't know the spelling. APP or APOL. Okay, that's fine. So, like, if Fortis Hospital wants to open his branch in US, then he need to follow the rules of US Medical Association, right? So these are basically our classes. For the classes, we will create the object, means we will open the branches. So, or we can say branch, Fortis branch. Now, if Fortis wants to operate in US, then he need to like implement that US medical, the rules of US Medical Association. Similarly, if Apollo wants to operate in US, then he also need to follow the norms of US Medical Association, right? Apollo Fortis may have some like their own rules, just like this. They may have their own rules. Similarly, Apollo may have their own rules, but all the rules that US Medical Association has been defined, they need to follow them as well, right? Then only they can operate in US. Similarly, if these hospital wants to operate, let us say in UK, the hospital want to operate in UK, then he need to implement all the rules. He need to follow all the rules of UK Medical Association as well. And same applies to Apollo Hospital as well. And for an example, if they want to operate in India, just like they have branches in India, Fortis and Apollo Hospital, so they are following the rules, nominations, okay, and the other thing that Indian Medical Association described, so they need to follow these as well. So I mean to say that this Fortis hospital have uh, like can be implemented, can be operate in other countries, in many countries, in multiple countries. But the thing over here is that they need to follow all the rules. They need to implement all the guidelines that the particular country medical association have. So don't you think like over here, Fortis Hospital is a class, and if we consider that like these interface as in class, so don't you think like this Fortis is a child class, and UK Medical, US Medical, Indian Medical, all these are parent classes. So over here in interface, we are achieving kind of multiple inheritance, right? We have multiple parent classes, multiple parent interfaces, not classes, and single child. So yeah, how many parent interfaces Fortis or Apollo have? Three, right? So this is allowed in C sharp. You can have multiple interfaces. You can have multiple interfaces of a single class, but you cannot have multiple classes, multiple parent classes of a child class. You got it? Okay. So this is the solution of diamond problem. This is how we can solve the diamond problem. Let us look into this practically. Okay. Let me take it out from here. Test it over here so that in future you may take reference. Okay. For that, let me create a separate folder. How to create a folder? Add new and give a meaningful folder name. Okay. Let us say ops concept op interface. See guys, like when you will start the Selenium, the first line is like a driver is equal to web driver is equal to new Chrome driver. So what is the web driver? That is an interface itself. So it's very important to understand this topic. Okay. So we have created one method called ops interface. Okay, where is the location of this? Okay. So inside the oops interface, I need to create an interface. So just like we are creating classes, similarly we can create interfaces as well. So just add new item, okay, and there would be an interface inside this where it is just directly search it from here, interface, int, yeah, interface. So here is my interface. This is also like same like class, just given meaningful name. Okay, so let's say US Medical is my first interface. US Medical Association is my first interface and click on add. So similarly, let us say this is my interface. The classes would be like internal class US Medical and interfaces will use the interface keyword. That is the only difference. Instead of class, we are writing the interface. Let's look at any example of the class. Let's say OD. So this is internal class OD, and in this we are using internal interface US Medical. Okay. So always use the interface keyword when we are implementing any interface. Okay. And this will exactly look like an class, like vehicle.cs, usmedical.cs. This will exactly look like an class but internally it's an interface. Okay. So what is the interface? Then what is the difference between class and interfaces then? Okay. So the interface cannot have method body. Okay. Let us say cannot have. They can have method but not method body. Okay. How? We'll look it into this practically. Okay. That means this will have only method prototype. Prototype means just an, I would say, impressions of the method only. Prototype. Okay. And what interface means no method body, only method declaration. So we can only declare a method inside this. We cannot like write the business logic. We can say no method body, no method body, only method declaration. Okay. And we can say interface cannot have the business logic, right? And other point you can remember about the interface, like we cannot create object of the interface, just like we are creating object car is equal to new car. So we cannot create object because uh, there is no use of creating the object of interface because the methods itself are not implemented. They are just prototype. Okay. We'll see every point practically. Can't create the object of interfaces, right? Okay. So how to define methods? Interface can have the method, like, but not method body. Okay. So how to define methods inside interface? Let us say I'm going to define one method. Let us say public, same impressions, public void. Let us say US medical is saying if you want to operate in US, then you must have cardio services. Cardio services. Okay, then only you can open, any hospital can open branch inside US. So if you will write it like this, let me write some business logic over here. Does it allowed? Okay. So this is allowing maybe at the compile time, but at the run time this should not allowed. Okay. So I'll explain you this. Uh, for now, just remember the method in interface would be defined like this only. Okay. Cardio services. If you'll give just like if you'll define it like this, then when you are going to execute this, then you are going to face the issues because you cannot have method body. This is the method body from this curly braces to this curly brace. Okay, right. So you can just give so only method prototype. There is no business logic inside this. Okay, and further like we can give the body to this. I'll explain you when to give the body to this. So this is only the method prototype. No method body, only method declaration. So we just have declared one method cardio service. That's it, right? Okay. And we can have some more policies from the US Medical Association. Let us say some other example, right? Oncology services, for an example. Onco LOGY services. Okay. And this may also have, if you want to operate in US, then you must have some other services like cardio services, for an example, or that we already have took just like public void, I would say physio services, right? So yeah, This is how like we can create methods prototype inside an interface. So these are basically methods but without body method, right? Or we can say all are abstract methods. The concept of abstraction will cover in the next session, in upcoming session, but for now just understand, if we have defined an interface, then the interface would be, the method of interface would be prototype methods. There would be no body, right? Similarly, I can create multiple interfaces, just like I have created for US medical. Add one more interface, just like interface for, I would say, UK medical, and add one more interface for new item, interface Indian medical, right? So every country would have their own norms. Just like in UK medical, they have some rules or they have some services. If you want to operate in UK, then let us say you must have public, void, let us say, and services here. Okay. And some other services you should also have, just like for an example, any example you guys can give, public, void, let us say PDF services. Yes, here. I see. Yes. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. So this the same, why we are not writing the method body over here, because this is an interface, and in interface we cannot write the method body. Only method declaration is allowed. So we are just declaring the methods. Okay. And similarly in Indian medical, let's create two services that Indian hospital must offer. Just like any example, public, void, let us say ortho service. We are writing services. Okay. This is a method without body, always remember. And some other services, any example, guys? Let us say dental services, DENTAL. This is about that. Yeah. So you got it. We have created three interfaces so far. One is that we have seen in the example, three interfaces we have created so far. Indian interface, Indian Medical Association for US Medical, and one is for UK. And individual, each and every interface has their own norms, own methods, own unimplemented methods. Okay. Now let's create a class who which is going to implement all these methods.
Aniket, I have one question over here.
Mhm,
You have created separate methods. For example, in US medicals, I have some methods
mhm,
or services.
mhm.
In addition to US, Indian medicals can have the same services or mandatory.
Yeah. I'll explain you that point as well. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll explain that point as well. That into my consideration. Like if the same services in the different countries, I'll
Okay.
cover that. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Just be focused on this. And
Okay.
at the end, if you have any question, then you may ask. Okay.
Okay.
So, like all that associations have their services. Now there is an hospital. Let us say we have Fortis Hospital. Add in class, directly class. Let us say, right, we have a class called Fortis Hospital. So now this hospital, for an example, opening a branch in US. So these, all the nominations, all the norms, all the services that all the regulations that US government, US Medical Association have set up, This is forced to follow that. Otherwise, Fortis Hospital will not be able to open his branch in the US. So this will implement the US medical interface. Okay, how to implement the same keyword that we used for inheritance, same double dot. Okay, and write the name of the interface that you want to implement. Okay, you have written it over here, right? The Fortis Hospital want to open the branch in US medical. So this is now when we were using at the time of interface, then we were inheriting the properties or inheriting the methods of that parent class. Now this is parent interface, we can say. So there is an error. What is the error? If you will mouse over to this will say Fortis Hospital does not implement interface members. Don't implement interface methods. Fortis Hospital. So this is saying Fortis Hospital have some norms, okay, some methods, unimplemented methods just like cardio services, oncology services. So if you want to operate in like US, hey Fortis Hospital, then you need to implement all my methods. Okay. So if we'll click on this arrow and there is a sign called implement interface, right? If you'll click on this implement interface, then you see the old method got implemented. Uh, Let me remove it. Let me remove the exception. Okay. Now you see there is no such error. What happened over here? The Fortis hospital now implementing giving body to the methods that has been written inside the UK medical. Just like in UK medical, we were sorry in US medical. Where is that? In US medical, we were having, hey, you should have cardio services, or you should have oncology services, you should have physio services. That is our norms. So Fortis Hospital is forced to implement all these services, right? And according to like their agreement, further he may assign something like he may decide inside the business logic, he may decide like how many doctors would be there inside that cardio services, what kind of machines we will use, okay, what kind of how much space we should have. That can be decided. The business logic can be decided over here. Okay, the business logic would come over here, but the thing is this Fortis hospital must provide the cardio services if you want to operate in US. Okay, so the point over here to learn is that if we are implementing any interface, then all that methods, all that like undefined, all the prototype methods of that particular interface should be implemented inside the class. Okay, if I'll remove this like physio services, okay, if I'll remove this, then again the error would be there. Okay, and it will say implement interface. You see, implement remaining member simplifiers. So which one is the remaining? Physio service is the remaining. You see, so you are forced to implement all the services, right? But for an example, if US medical we can define it a class, then it's not required. Although we cannot create like the method inside the class, we should give the full qualified name. Also, we can call a single method or a multiple method, just like we are doing in overriding, right? Although this is a not overriding, we can say overriding as well. This looks like the similar cardio services available in the US medical interface as well, but that is without any body. Okay, now how we are giving the body to this? By using these curly braces. Okay, we are giving the value to this. Got it? Okay, any question, confusion so far, just yes meaning, or we can
Um,
write it.
no,
Okay,
continue.
okay, we can write it over like this, like Fortis hospital. Now let us say cardio services, just to print it. Let us say there might be some other business logic, oncology services. and let us say Fortis Hospital physio services. Okay. For now, for an example, if the Fortis Hospital want to operate in UK as well, hey, this is saying we are like expanding our branches, and now we want to operate in the UK as well. Okay, then can we do? Can he do that? Yes, any hospital can open branch in any country. That is like their business expansion. Okay. So now if he want to open, just like he operated in US, now he want to operate in UK, then this hospital, Fortis hospital should have all the services like ARM service and PDA services. Then only, and instead of these services, there might be a number of logics. You should have this certification. You should have these norms. That is the separate thing. But like we are for the understanding purpose, we just have two examples that should have ARM services and PDA services. Okay. So if this Fortis hospital want to operate in US medical, then he can do like this. And if you want to operate in UK as well, then just write and comma and write UK medical. Okay. You see, this is not possible in case of interfaces in inheritance. Right? In inheritance, we cannot have multiple parent classes. So the diamond problem would be there. But over here, we can have multiple interfaces, multiple parent interfaces. Now, why this error? We haven't implemented any method from UK Medical. How much method we need to implement it inside the all the method, all the unimplemented method, whether it's 10 or 100 or 1000 that are present inside the interface. If we'll not implement this, then this error will always be there. Okay, so to resolve this, just mouse over to this and click on this implement interface. Okay, so you see the services, these PDA services, where it is. This is coming from the UK, right? Coming from the UK medical. Okay, we don't want to throw any exception. We just writing our business logic, and these earn services as well. So these two, let me write it over here. Mm, one is PDA service and one is and service. These are the part of UK. Okay. So inside the same class, you need to implement. So all these are coming from US medical.
Hello, Aniket, your screen is again getting locked. I'm getting.
Okay, okay. Let me reshare. That's fine. Okay, I'm resharing it. Let me know once it's visible. Is it visible to you guys?
Yes.
Okay, Aswini, please confirm.
Yes, I'm able to use it.
Okay, okay. So what we did first, we implemented that US medical norms, unimplemented method of the. Now by comma separated, we are implementing one more interface. So what is this? If you mouse over to this, if you mouse over to the Fortis, then this is saying class, right? And this is the namespace of the class. And if you mouse over to the US medical, then you can see it's an interface, right? So we are implementing US medical interface and UK medical. Similarly, you may implement the Indian medical as well, right? So why this is an error? You say you have some unimplemented methods. So in India, let us say you have two like unimplemented method. One is ortho services and dental services. If I implement this, you can do it automatically as I told you, and you can do it manually as well. Let us say this is Indian medical. So just implement these methods. You cannot write it like this. Yes, implement it. Okay. Okay, implement this as well. So let us say this is Physio services. Let us say print something, print, and then after Physio, these are PDA services of UK Medical. These are ARN services of UK. These are ortho services of India. You should have in India. You should have ortho services or any OPD services, anything, whatever you want to take. So this is how you can define all these methods. Got it? This is how you need to implement all this concept. Now, so now we have implemented all three interfaces in one side. Okay, just like as I told you that we were having UK, we were having US, we were having India, and we have single object that is known as Fortis. So we are implementing all these inside. So don't we achieving that multiple inheritance over here, right? So we are achieving the multiple. This is also a diamond problem. We have two parents. One is UK, one is US, or India as well. So this is also a diamond problem. This was a diamond problem that was not achievable through class, but we can achieve this through interface. Yeah. So always remember, if the interviewer asks you how to achieve multiple inheritance in C sharp, then the simple answer is that by using interface. Question might be like this: how to solve the diamond problem in C sharp? Answer the again is same, by using the interface. Someone asks what is the interface? So you can say interface is an entity in which we have to write just the prototype of the, or we just need to, we can declare the methods, but we cannot implement those methods, right? And further, if we want to implement that particular interface inside any class, then we are forced to provide the body to all the methods of that particular interface. Got it? We solve our problem. Okay, we have multiple parents over here and single child. Okay, I hope you got it. Now, let's and also I can write some individual, okay, some services, some individual services of Fortis Hospital as well. That means I can write some individual method as well. These are the methods of like India, UK, and US. Some individual methods, some other services that Fortis will provide based on the country or as well as their convenience. Just like public void, let us say Fortis services, Fortis Medical. They are providing what services? Let us say they are providing medical training. TRAIN, whatever. Okay, the employee, for the employees they are providing medical training in all countries or okay. So this is the on method of, that means a class that is implementing the interfaces can have their own methods as well. Just like we have training, medical training. Some other methods might be just like public void, let us say OPD services, right? So this can have their own methods as well. So this medical training neither available in any kind of, not available in any kind of interfaces, but this is the own method of, I would say, Fortis class. Okay. Mm. So this is FH means Fortis and OPT services. Got it? Okay. And I think this is clear to you. Okay. Now let us test this. Let us have a test method. And one more thing that Aswini asked, I'll cover that later. Okay. Let's have a test class called test hospital. Okay. Let's create a main method inside the test class, static void main. Now, if for an example, test hospital means there is an user who want to access all the services. Okay, user don't bother about how they have implemented. Whenever we visit any hospital, we just look, hey, this particular hospital have these particular services or not. If yes, then I'll avail those. If not, then I need to look for some another hospital. So if I need to like avail the services of Fortis hospital, then can I create the object of that Fortis class to access all the object of the Fortis class, all the methods of the Fortis class? Yes. Then let us say Fortis hospital fh is equal to new Fortis hospital. This is the object of the Fortis class, means this is one of the Fortis hospital. Object means, yeah, we have one Fortis hospital in our area. Now by using the fh reference, fs dot, can I avail all the services just like cardio services, dental services? Yes, everything can be accessed. Let us say if patient want to like avail cardio services, fs dot some other services like ortho service. Okay, fs dot ortho service we already have used. Let us say dental service. Okay, fs dot we can call all other services available. Let us say aunt services, and let us say some other services just like fs dot the services that they're on, let us say medical training, right? We can avail these. So all the services that Fortis hospital provide, a user can avail those, right? If I'll execute this, let me say that preference of that man method, let it be from solution properties application. Yeah, let's set. Oh, have it? Yeah, right. So we had test hospital. Let us say, let's execute it. And user will not be bothered about from which country or like what are the interfaces they have implemented. He would keep in mind like, hey, I should get these services. Yeah, so user can avail like cardio services, ortho services, right? And services. We are getting two times ortho services means in somewhere inside the dental services we have ortho. So yeah, we are getting the correct output. Just like in dental, it should be dental. Okay, right? This is how we can achieve that. You got it? Now, for an example, just like uh, the US medical is providing one services. Okay, US medical is providing one services. Let's say you also they are saying the hospital, any hospital, Apollo hospital or Fortis hospital, if they want to operate in US, they want to open their branch in US, then they all the hospitals should have emergency service, right? So thus give the method name over here. So all they all should have emergency services. But like the US government is proposing this, so UK government also have the same kind of norms. Hey, if you want to open the hospital in UK, then you must have the emergency services. So yeah, UK can also have unimplemented method or prototype like emergency services. And similarly, in Indian government may have or Indian Medical Association can implement this rule. Hey, if you want to operate any hospital in India, then you must have the emergency services. Otherwise, you cannot open the office. Sorry, that hospital. So yeah, this can be write it like this. But my question to you is that when that Fortis hospital, in case of like where is the Fortis hospital, if that is going to open his branch, let us say in US medical, UK medical, everyone is having their emergency services. So how many times Fortis need to implement it, the emergency services? Single time or three times? Yeah, that's what your question, Aswini, right?
Yeah.
If
Aniket,
so
your
always,
screen is again locked.
yeah, it's I guess this is the issue from like this
Skype.
after yeah, Skype after 30-40 minutes this started lagging because my internet connection is stable here. Let me share it again. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Let me confirm once you are able to see this. So always remember, guys, if the multiple countries are providing, they have same kind of norms, then the class or the hospital class in which they need to implement it, they only need a single implemented method, right? Don't require to create multiple methods. Although it's not allowed in C Sharp, you cannot create multiple methods with same name. You cannot create three emergency methods, emergency services method inside an Fortis hospital class. Otherwise, there would be a duplicate method error, right? So if I'll create a single method over here, let us say, then all the errors should be gone away. You see, there is no as such error. Further, we can write some conditions like if condition inside the business logic. Let us say, hey, if country country is equals to, let us say any condition, country is equals to US and is equal to US medical, then provide, okay, these kind of emergency services. And else if, like, else if, let us say anything, if else if uh, like country is equals to UK, then do these kind of operations. Okay, so furthermore, we can define conditions over here inside the emergency services. But if the same services is being provided by multiple countries, multiple interface have same name, unimplemented method, then only single implemented method would be over there. Got it? I hope this is the answer of your question, Ashwini. And uh, other thing is that just like inside the test hospital, we have created the object of this class. What is hospital FS is equal to? So can I create the object of UK medical or US medical interface? Can I create it like this? Let's just say US medical, US is equal to new US medical. Can I write it like this? So this is an error. This is saying cannot create an instance of abstract type or interface, right? This is saying you cannot create the object of an interface. You can only create the object of the class. We already have written this point, right? Where inside you see cannot create the object of the interface. So US medical is an interface, and we are trying to create the object of this, but we cannot do that. So can we do typecasting with interface over here? Or let's keep it if here we already running out of the time. We'll understand, we'll explore this concept in the next session. This is enough for this session, guys. So today we understood like what is interface, how to declare an interface. Okay. what are the norms to create an interface, how to create an interface, then how to implement that particular interface inside a class, how to give automatically, how to give the body to all the methods. Okay, so this is enough for this session, and the other, there are few more things related to the interfaces we'll cover up in the upcoming session. Thank you guys, thanks for joining. Let me know if you have any question on the same topic that we have discussed today.
No questions till now. Thanks, Aniket, for explaining.
Yeah, it's okay. I always keep that mindset in mind. So yeah, okay. Thank you.